Hi, I'm Carl. Welcome to House and Garden Hacks. Well, today I'm going to show you how to cut stone walls. We have this big fireplace and stonework that was done in 1956 when the house was built. Time to modernize, so we're going to actually cut away about 2/3 of the stone that we have and then paint the rest. So this is going to show you how I'm going to cut. But what I've learned from years of cutting any kind of concrete is that, or even wood, is that it obliterates the line sometimes. So what I decided to do this time is I grabbed some painter's tape, right, went along that line, and then I painted on the other side of it. And that way I have a nice visible line. I don't have to worry about all the spray from the saw, obscuring my straight line. All right. Practice cut. I've got my son here as my trusty sidekick, and to try to reduce the amount of dust, he's going to follow me as I go up. All right. Like I said, I'm going to try this out here, and then depending upon what I learn in this area, then I'll apply to this. But this is my total cut. Notice that there are two lines here because after I did the first one, I realized it wasn't far enough over. There's a wall behind this, and I wanted to make sure I didn't cut into that wall. So I moved over a few inches. So here we go. So what I did realize is that as I was coming out of the sandstone and into the mortar, and I'm right on the edge of the sandstone, that it began to veer me off. So I'm going to have to be careful of that so I maintain my straight line. But otherwise, the vacuum, the cutting is good, and having Elliot be my vacuum guy is working better than I expected. So we're good to go. Now we're going to do the actual cut. So using the regular skill saw with a cement blade, this is the cut that it made. So you can see the nice flat surface from the cutting blade. And then we had to chip out the stone, and that's why you see the rough here. So I'm going to have to smooth that out later. I wanted to use an industrial strength saw, like, from a rental place. But what I discovered is that when I went to rent it, it's so heavy that there is no way that I could have done this entire wall holding up. I mean, it felt like it was about 50 pounds. So the skill saw worked. It was easier to work with. And of course, I already had the blade, so that part was free. So what I learned from this wall is that I have to start at the top and use the drill. And this is a cement drill, and actually get in between the bricks and drill that out as much as I can so that I can free the stone up so that I can pull it out. And then this is going to take some time. So once I get the top layer or two off, then it's just working my way down. Up until now I've been successful at breaking the stones away just by coming in here, hammering up, and then that would break it at the cut. This is a much thicker one, and it didn't want to do it for me. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut it down here so that I can score the top. I'll go down as deep as I can, but what I want to do is just reduce the amount of stone that I have in there that's currently binding that. So I'm sure I'll cut and tap, see how it goes until it finally breaks free. Okay, I've only gone down maybe 1/4 of an inch. So I finally got this bad boy broken. What I had to do is I went as deep as I could with my cement cutter. This has diamond bits in it. I just went as deep as I could. I had high hopes for this Milwaukee torque carbide. It's got 7 teeth per inch. And I did score the top a little bit more. That probably helped, but again, I was expecting that to cut through the sandstone a lot better than it did. It did not. So I ultimately ended up bringing the chisel in the back here a lot and here, so as I was coming this way it was raising it up a little bit, and then I ended up tapping this in and finally then committed to one spot and kept tapping until it finally broke loose. So this big guy took a lot of patience and trying different techniques to see what would work. I don't know if you can see, I also scored it under here with the skill saw, anything it could to break that free. I will tell you that this stone right here loosened up a little bit. Fortunately, this is cosmetic, so I'm not worried about it holding anything up. But when I do put the wall up here, I will put some caulk in there or somehow get that, some kind of a grout in there to shore that up. This one I'm going to show you in total what I did, how to do this. Get underneath with the chisel. Once it rises up, okay, that's nice and clean. And then the next one. Now there's actually some mortar over here. I'll break that away. And here we go. But then as I'm chipping from this end and coming under, it'll break that side. Whoop. There we go. You can see where I made the cut, and then as I chipped this up or chiseled, whatever you want to call it, it broke this. So it's that straightforward. So my objective is to be able to cut away enough stone so that I can put a 2x4 frame around this wall to be able to put sheetrock up against it, right? And that's how I'm going to finish this side off. But I get down here and I just can't go far enough down to be able to do the same with this stone. So I'm borrowing my neighbor's grinder that also has a diamond blade in it. Thank you, Jason. And see if I can get closer down here to be able to break that away, and also to come in this way and see if I can cut more away so that I have a smooth side for that 2x4. We're going to give it a shot. So the last thing that I did with cutting the stone was around where the gas insert itself was going to go in. The guy that I'm buying the gas insert from said that the stone wasn't flush. In fact, it was about 3/4 of an inch out over there and 1/4 of an inch over here, and enough that the fireplace won't sit nice and flush. So to correct that, what I did is I took the skill saw with the diamond blade, and I can cut. You can see the cut. So I just came in and cut, zzz, zzz, zzz. And then I took the chisel and came at it sideways and just chiseled that all out until I got it flush. So now the insert should fit very nicely in there, and then I'll put stone around the outside. I'm not completely done, but far enough along that I want to show you the progress that I've made. Of course, over here is where I ended up putting 2x2s in here and then transitioning to 2x6s behind me to be able to put the sheetrock up and close this up because I didn't want stone here. And then you can see that we repainted the stone that was here was natural sandstone, and my wife did a beautiful job with this. This is all her hand doing. So you can see what can be done with the stone as a way to modernize. All right, and we have the wood fireplace back in. So this side is all set to go. I just have some shelves to put in on the other side, and of course you saw the where the gas insert's going to go, and then they'll finish it up. It'll be about another month from now. Well, thanks for watching House and Garden Hacks. I hope it was useful to you. Have a good day.